Alright, so why am I putting blocks underneath the ramps here? It's because that. So that is a 1988, I think it's a S1600 Low Pro. So air suspension on the back. They've welded some blocks in there, so probably needs fixed. It's the 8 lug 19.5-inch wheels. They've cut the frame down, shortened it up a little bit, but I want to shorten it up some more. You'll see why here in a minute. Oh, it's a S1600. I don't know if you can see that good or not, but it's got the newer style hood on it. 19.5. Disc brake, front axle, rear axle, so it's a hydraulic brake under CDL. No, don't know how good you can see that, but that is either a 7.3 or 6.9 IDI. I think it's a 7.3 because I believe 88 was when they started doing the 7.3, but not positive. I've not checked. And it seemed like you can use the head stud bolts to check stuff, whatever. I didn't really care. So injector return lines are leaking like most of these engines. Not sure if it needs a water pump or a thermostat. It's leaked a little bit of antifreeze, so hopefully it's not nothing bad. I didn't see any blow by, so hopefully it's not a head gasket, but I mean, that don't mean a head gasket couldn't be leaking into the water passages. The antifreeze looked good, it's good and green, but engine's all wet, so you know how that is with these engines. It's a 5-speed. Don't even know what kind of transmission it is. It might be another spacer, so let's work on another spacer. Shifted good, didn't jump into the gears, nothing stood out there, but anyway, you might be wondering what the plan is for this, and there's the plan for it. The Loadstar cab onto the Low Pro chassis. I don't know exactly how much lower it is, but I'm thinking 6-7 inches anyway. Lower, maybe more. Somebody might know. I've done just some rough measuring here, and that's kind of what it seems like to me. So don't know if it's quite low enough for what I want to do. May end up having to try to lower this thing some. You know, I don't know how much trouble that is on these Low Pros. So you can see there's a few inches of clearance between the oil pan and the whatever, the front suspension. Too close to do a spring over on this truck, so might would have to lower the brackets. I'm not sure what all my options are just yet, but I think it's something we can overcome, but not too worried about it right now. My main concern is making sure the engine runs good. We drove it down the road, didn't smoke. Was a little hard to start, but you know, I kind of contributed that to the leaking return lines, getting air in the system. It does have air compressor on it for the air bags, the air suspension on the back. I'll see what's going on there. It does build up air pressure, so I'm assuming it's something to do with bag busted or something with the controls back here. I'm not even sure how all that works with the auto level and stuff, but we'll figure all that out eventually. But for right now, they'd had log bunks welded on it. Got these angle plates on here. I don't know if them came on this truck. Looks like they did because they're behind the suspension. They may have just pieced this piece in here, I don't know. So we'll take a closer look at all that stuff when we get it down and see what we need to do, what we need to remove. I put one new battery in it. Still got one old battery. I think what I'll do is get rid of that old battery and get 2 matching ones. Got this at Rural King, and see if it helps it crank a little bit. It's a little slow to crank, so I don't know if it's, you know, loose terminal ends or what. I haven't checked anything out. He started it up for me when I got over there. So anyway, yeah, we'll see if we can't get this thing started and unloaded. The blocks was because this is so long and low that when we loaded it, the fuel tank drug kind of on the back of the dovetail here and got hung up. So I'm hoping with the blocks it'll be high enough to not drag, but we'll see. Yeah, let's see if we can get this thing started. So looking at this closer, they've got side post terminals to the adapters, and none of them's tight, so that might be causing some of our issues. Yeah, nothing's tight on here, so we'll see if we can't clean some of these connections up and get them to tighten up. So I'll not leave any of this stuff, but for right now, this is what we're going to use to get the truck started and off the trailer. So let's get it. Yeah, plenty corroded up. That one had a little bit of arcing action going on. I can tell them gonna look real good. Yeah, look at that. And they got a red cable hooked up for the ground, so that won't get confusing at all. We might should get a washer and put in that, because I don't think it's going to work too good. So I found me a washer to fit in there. Might tighten it up a little bit. Oh yeah. Let's see. Make sure we're going the right one. That's, yeah, that's a negative. That's positive. Negative. The red negative here. A little tighter than it was. We'll just trust that's a good connection. Huh, I hear all kinds of electrical connections making noise. I wonder if that's a good sign. That one needs a washer too. Now those are all better than they were. So let's see what this thing does. Okay, so I unhooked this other battery, so I think it probably just needs bigger batteries, but it don't like to cranky crank. So I hooked my battery. I got a battery in this tongue box on this trailer for my winch. I hooked it up with some booster cables. Helped a little bit. So then I unhooked that battery, about the same. Hooked the charger up, let it run for a little while. Because yeah, I think we need some more juice, because it'll crank over once or twice, then it kind of gets real weak. So maybe the starter's bad, I don't know, but it does crank it over. So we'll let this charge for a while and get right back to it. Alright, so give up trying to get this thing started. The battery just ain't going to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and get it off the trailer. So what you see me doing was getting the winch hooked up so it'd pull the truck off of the trailer instead of onto the trailer. So I put my snatch block back here in the back, and we're going to winch ourselves back until it'll roll off here. So see if we can't get that going, get this truck off this trailer. Now I don't know how much clearance I'm going to have over that snatch block. I can't find my little one. Oh, I got that big humongous one, so hopefully it don't snag on the axle or something. But let's see what happens. Well, not quite sure how that happened, but look at this. My strap come off of the front axle. I mean, I guess it's a good thing because I rolled way on past where I was going to, but not sure how that happened. And I see another GoPro laying here. So, yeah, that's weird. Let's clean up our mess, and then we'll get to seeing what's going on with this truck. Well, here's how my GoPro escaped. It broke the little ears out of the clamp. So I guess I had it in like that, and it ripped it out of there. But looks like to me I can still put it in backwards in it. It holds okay, so and we'll continue using that for a little while. Now, doing those 7/16 and a 1/2 inch head bolt. So looks like 1/2 inch. So I believe that's a 7/3. But yeah, I'm sure there's plenty of stuff that it needs. I'm thinking a water pump. It looks wet on the front. I'm assuming that's a water pump. I don't know. Probably head gaskets, rings, who knows. Whole new rebuild, but it runs good, sounded good, but I just can't get it started now because I don't have enough juice. So I don't know if the starter's weak or just need to charge the batteries up a little bit more. But a lot of kind of questionable wiring here, so maybe we're not charging too good. But anyway, we will put this back on the charger and see what it does. Get it a little bit more charge. Maybe boost it off with my pickup truck if I have to. See if we can't get her running and driving around a little bit. But yeah, let's get her on charge. Hopefully get this thing running. Oh yeah, and for all the Loadstar people out there, will I need any kind of firewall clearance if I cab swap this? So I've just been eyeballing everything, and I've done a few little measurements, but I believe it'll fit pretty close. If not, might be a little bit of work. But the chassis seems to be roughly 5 inches lower, 5-6 inches lower, as best I can tell. But the cab is also 5 or 6 inches higher as well. So what I'm thinking is overall height, I'm going to drop, you know, maybe 10 inches on the Loadstar by swapping it just onto this chassis the way it sits. And we'll try to lower it some more if we can. Get these wheels tucked a little bit more. May need bigger wheels to fill the wheel gaps on that Loadstar, but for right now this will do just fine. But I'm gonna try to figure out what's going on with this stuff back here as to why the airbags aren't airing up. So I'm sure there's more to that than I know. I've never done any research on it, but we'll see what's going on there. But it does build up air pressure. It didn't lift the rear off of these little blocks they put in there. So I'm assuming it didn't work. They put them in there, but he said he put them in there for some overloads because he was hauling pretty heavy on it. So maybe that's what it was in case the bag blew out. It didn't get too tippy on him. But anyway, let's hook this battery charger up and try to get this thing running. Now that's handy having a winch on a trailer. Use it once or twice a year, but still handy. you think that should be on the Loadstar? Like kind of the axle somewhere right there where the exhaust is, maybe, or a little farther forward. Move a foot up, yeah. Move it forward about a foot or two, about 2 foot. What all do these 7.3 IDIs, what should I do to it? What does it need? Like, I mean, it runs, but I don't know, it feels like when a vehicle needs fuel, like a diesel needs fuel filters. So I'm sure it probably needs a fuel filter. But what all should I look for and what all should I do? Drop a comment down below there if you kind of know what I need to be looking for, what I need to do with these IDIs. So this is my first one that I've had, and I know it needs some stuff, you know, I'm well aware of that, but I'm gonna start off with the return lines on the injectors. Maybe it needs glow plugs. I ain't tested them yet. I know there's some, you know, you can test them somehow. I'll probably do that, but other than that, you know, a little bit oily on the intake. You know, what do you think that means? Let me know. Yeah, can't think of anything else. It's wet. The front of the motor's wet. Not sure if it's oil, water, what, but I'm sure it needs a lot. Just I want to make sure it runs good and drives good, and then I'll swap the cabs out. That's my plan here. Let's check the gauges out. Well, the temperature gauge is barely moved. Oil pressure gauge is pegged out, so I'm assuming that's probably not right. Looks like it's charging. Got about 13 and something volts maybe. Looks like it's got 221,000. Is that right? Yeah, 221,000 miles on it. You can see that or not there. But the water temperature is moving. I might need to get me an oil pressure gauge and put on this thing, see what kind of oil pressure we're running. No headlight. Oh yeah, got one little headlight out there. Maybe both. Now this has the air conditioner on it. The blower works. I'm assuming the air conditioner don't work, but at least it's all there and maybe we can get that working. The brakes need some adjusting. They're kind of stiff there, not too bad. They feel pretty good. He done some work to them before I got the truck, but they catch a little bit, grab a little bit, so I'll probably go through and clean some of that up, fix what we need to, but they work pretty good. Shift's good so far, which I've only got to second gear. Sounds like an old school bus. I think this used to be a U-Haul truck if I was guessing by the colors. So it looks like some orange underneath that white there. See right there? I guess that was it. I guess this was a U-Haul. Seemed like I read somewhere that the low pros were, a lot of them were U-Haul trucks. It kind of smells like maybe a little bit of raw fuel. So you think an injector's stuck open maybe? I don't know. I feel like that's coolant. Don't see any blow by. I heard a little bit of something squeaking there. Wonder if that's the water pump. And this is, you see the antifreeze right there? Why is that doing that? Is that a problem? So what do you think? They seem like a good candidate to cab swap with the Loadstar. I hope so. I'm going to work a little bit on the fuel system, especially those return lines. Not sure how to check the injectors. I'm sure there's some way to check those, or a kit that you can buy, or a tool that you can buy to check how they do, but or the flow on them anyway. But yeah, that I can smell a little bit of raw fuel standing there with it, so maybe like I say, an injector stuck. Hopefully it's not causing any issues right now, but yeah, don't smoke or anything, but I can kind of smell the fuel, so I don't know if that's an issue or not. If any of you guys are 6.9 or 7.3 IDI gurus, let me know. I'd like to make it a good running truck for the Loadstar cab, but I don't know, hopefully it'll be worth it. And I've yet to see a Loadstar with the low pro wheels and tires on it, so if you guys know of one, let me know, see what it looks like, see if it's gonna look good or not. I know you can buy the 22.5s that bolt onto them 8 lugs like that, but I'll probably just stick with those steel wheels and the low pro 19.5 inch tires, so it'll be a little bit lower to the ground. I may try to lower it some, I don't know, but yeah, I'd like to get this thing on the road and a little more dependable. Hopefully that 7.3 will be good enough, and yeah, get her a little closer to the ground. I like that old truck. I just want something a little bit lower, a little bit smaller. This is pretty good sized truck, so once we put it on the other chassis, if we can, it'll be a little more manageable to drive, you know, especially shorten wheelbase up. This one's just so big, heavy duty. I don't need all this, so maybe a good chassis come up for sale here pretty soon. I've almost got all the brakes done. You'll see a video coming out of that. But yeah, it's a good old truck. Everything's pretty solid. Well, I've rambled on enough right now. Let's gas this thing a few more times, or goose her a few more times, and see what she sounds like. Check on the temperature here. Like I said, I wish I had an oil pressure gauge, but I assume it's got oil pressure. I don't know. Temp's up to about 170 now. Yeah, I don't guess you can see that, but it's at 170. Let's try to start her back up here. Oh yeah, started up good. Dicked around enough on this. I'll probably move it over a little bit, park it up, and move my truck and trailer out of the way and get back on this stuff tomorrow. So yeah, let's get to it. Why is the water boiling? You hear that? It's pretty warm. Radiator's a little warm. Got pressure. What does that mean? So the radiator cap isn't on top of the radiator like normal. It's all the way over here on this little overflow tank. Got a big line going down to the return hose on the from the radiator there, looks like. Should it be making that noise? Yeah, it's pretty warm. I can lay my hand on it, but it's warmer than the radiator. I feel like that shouldn't be making that noise in there. Oh, and it's puked out a little bit of antifreeze down here. See it? Right there on the leaf spring. It's come out this little overflow hose. That's what this is here. Come out of that. Huh. Anybody got any ideas what that is? If you do, let me know. I'm gonna figure this out. Well, I've tried to end this video 10 times, so I'm gonna get out of here this time, but if you know what that is, let me know. So on these low pro models, and I'm not sure about the regular S1600s. I'm used to the International. I got a 4700 or that Loadstar, and you know, got a few more leaves up here than this. So what I was thinking is there's probably, say, 6 inches of clearance between the oil pan and the whatever front suspension there. If I took out this overload leaf, would 2 leaves be enough? Is that something that could be done, or is that getting too sketchy? Man, could probably put an airbag or something in there to give it a little bit more support back, but yeah, I'm not sure if that'll work or not. I'll probably leave it stock for right now, suspension, once I switch the cab over and see how it looks, and then start trying to go from there about lowering it or whatever. But I've been thinking about the you know, like the coolant, you know, I could hear it bubbling in there and whatnot. I feel like maybe it needs a head gasket. You know, I don't know, what do you guys think? Does it need a head gasket? Hopefully it's not this dreaded cavitation that I keep reading about, but who the heck knows. I'll probably put head gaskets on it. I'll get a compression tester, which I don't know what that'll really tell me. You know, check the compression on this. I guess it'll point out which cylinder it is, maybe, but probably just I may do that and then get a set of head gaskets put on, or may just go ahead and get the head gaskets and throw them at it. I don't know which is best, because I think it's like $100 for the kit to test the head gaskets. So, or listen, test the compression. So I don't know. What do you think? Should I do that, or just go ahead and throw head gaskets at it, hope for the best? Seems to run good. It don't really smoke. I can't really see any blow by, but it could all be going right into the the overflow for the coolant. So I don't know. Probably got plenty of blow by if that head gasket wasn't bad. But anyway, we'll probably go with that. But this air suspension in the back, I don't know why it's not ironing up. I assume it's something simple. I know there's some valves and stuff back here, and then a dump valve on the dash, I guess. I don't know enough about it to decipher what's wrong with it. I guess that's what this is. Push and hold to lower truck. So feels like it works. I guess there's some kind of safety switch that it won't work when you're driving. I don't know how that goes, but I read a little bit about that. This cab, there's some rust, kind of hole right there on the floor. Other than that, it looks really good. The rockers are good. Me bragging about it, and the door won't even shut. But that's an under CDL cab. I don't know, man. Could probably sell the cab off of that thing and get a little bit of money out of that. Or throw it on that Loadstar frame, sell it like that. But what is a good length for these, for the wheelbase of this thing? I've still been thinking about that. I don't know what's the best. I want it a little bit shorter, a little bit lower, but I don't know. What do you think? Shorten it up to a regular cab long bed length, or a little bit longer maybe? I kind of like this, but I want it a little bit shorter just for driving around, parking, turning, all that stuff. So yeah, let me know what you think. I don't know, a lot to do,